There are many more cases of police brutality, and the overwhelming number of the cases are against the African American community. Every day when you look on the news, there are more and more cases. The amount of news coverage of police brutality has spiked in the past few years. This graph shows the number of Google searches for police brutality over the past few years. It can be seen that the number of searches has gone up over time. This is a constant message that is mirrored with the number of incidents of police brutality. The first time that police brutality took a main stage spot in the public eye was during the events in Ferguson. This was the time when Michael Brown, an unarmed black teenager, was shot by a white policeman. His death caused a public outcry that caused Ferguson to descend into a state of emergency that involved riots and hundreds of arrests. Another outcome of this event has been the Black Lives Matter movement. This movement has gained a lot of traction over the past few years and has expanded to many other cities. As you could probably guess, the African American community is not that happy about how many unarmed, innocent people are being shot by the police. A few extreme members of the community has gone as far as attacking the police because of how angry they are and how they're being treated. This has resulted in even more deaths and protesting. There have been many other incidents that involve deaths of unarmed African Americans. Some other incidents that have happened include the death of Freddie Gray and most recently of Kenneth Lamont Scott. The police say that Scott exited his car holding a gun and said that he moved towards a police officer. Like most police officers would do in that situation, the policeman on duty ordered Scott to drop his gun, but Scott did not respond. But the fact that he dropped his gun might not have been because of the fact that he was not listening to the officer. It could have been because he didn't have a gun, or that he had a brain injury because he was disabled from a recent motorcycle accident. His family insists that he was just carrying a book, and neighbors have testified to this as well. After Scott did not follow the officer's orders, he was promptly shot dead by the officer. This is all despite the tragic pleas from his wife. Take a look.
He has no weapon. He has no weapon. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. He didn't do anything. He doesn't have a gun. He has a TBI. He's not going to do anything to you guys. He just took his medicine.
This incident promptly sparked a large-scale protest in Charlotte, North Carolina, and added even more fuel to the fire that was powering the Black Lives Matter movement. So far, all that has been discussed are police shootings. However, there is much more to police brutality than just shootings. A perfect example of this was when Freddie Gray died in police custody. His death occurred when his head was hit on a bolt when he was being thrown into the back of a police van. Like all of the other incidents, his death sparked large-scale riots in Baltimore, where he died. The riots caused many businesses to be looted and even resulted in some being burned. There are many residents that feel that this is one of the worst crimes that the police have ever committed. Here are a few people that The Guardian filmed shortly after the riots.
This is like a nightmare. I never experienced nothing like this. This is out of control.
What happened to Friday has been happening in Baltimore for so long, and no one has paid us any mind because we're such, I guess, a small community or such a small place. No one paid us no mind.
We just want justice. You know, it's not about the cops, it's not about the media. We just want justice for Freddie and all the other people that might have lost their lives dealing with police brutality.
There were many other events that involve police brutality that will not be mentioned here because then this video would end up being much, much longer. Police brutality has become a major problem, and there are many instances of it happening every day. Some people speculate that the reason for there to be so much police brutality against the African American community is because of a long-standing racial bias that all black people are violent drug dealers that cannot be trusted. And we all know that this is not true. This continues to be a major problem in many countries, and it is very hard to change stigmas over how people think about other people. However, it is very important for people to not be racist. But it is even more important for the police officers to not be racist, because if they are, it can cost lives.